Done it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. Who you with, Kirk? I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, though. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome. I'm M. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak on it. Welcome to Speak on it. I'm in. Welcome to Speak. Welcome to Speak. I'm in. 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 I'm in. Who you with, Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak on it with who you with, Kirk, dog. I'm M. You with Kirk, dog. Y'all know what tonight it is. It's Thursday night. My girl is in the house tonight. My girl, Miss Risky. But first, we want to welcome everyone listening on YouTube, Facebook, D Live, Twitch, Periscope. It's in the house. I'm sorry, I keep saying Periscope. I'm so used to Periscope, but Twitter is in the house. Twitter is in the house. Y'all can live chat with us during the show. You know my girl is coming with some history tonight. Miss Risky, how you doing?
I'm well.
You sound like you're tired. Been a rough week.
I'm always tired.
This weather is a trip because I don't know about you, but this rain, it's like it just took all my energy. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm not worried about the rain. I like the rain.
I like it too,
So
and
it's
that's why
thunderstorms that get me all.
can't wait until after the show. I can go take me a long hot shower and call it the night. So, but welcome to the show. It's always good when I have you here. You know, someone made a comment on YouTube. I forgot who it was. They talking about, when you say gal, it's a racist comment. Well,
Well,
I say my girl, because that's
it
my
depends
girl.
on how you say it and who says it.
Exactly, because Miss Risk and I have a very good relationship. She's like my little sister, um, so it's definitely something that's our personal relationship. It's no harm. It's showing love to my friend, my BFF.
Yeah, I've never really had a problem with gal. I use it. Like, listen here, gal.
Well,
Better than
I'm
the
good.
other alternative. Listen here, tramp.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
Like,
That
so
would be a problem. So definitely, man, I'm glad you had a great week.
yeah, things are progressing,
Um,
and so we're trucking.
okay. Well, come on with the history because we've been having great shows all week. A lot of response from the people, and y'all can live chat with us in the chat room, and we can definitely keep the conversation going. We're gonna hit on a couple of stories tonight, and we're gonna break them down for you. Uh, but before that, Miss Risky is actually gonna do a little history for us.
Yes, I'm going to be talking about George Washington Carver. He was an American agricultural scientist and inventor who promoted alternative crops to cotton and methods to prevent soil depletion. He was one of the most prominent Black scientists of the early 20th century. Carver was born into slavery in Diamond Grove, Newton County, Missouri, near Crystal Place, sometime in let's see, I think they say in 1864. The date of his birth is uncertain because he was born before slavery was abolished in Missouri, which occurred in 1865 during the American Civil War. His master, Moses Carver, was a German-American immigrant who had purchased George's parents, Mary and Giles, from William P. McGinnis on October 9th, 1855, for $700. After slavery was abolished, Moses Carver and his wife Susan raised George and his older brother James as their own children. They encouraged George to continue his intellectual pursuits, and his aunt Susan taught him the basics of reading and writing. Black people were not allowed at public schools in Diamond Grove, so George decided to go to school for black children 10 miles south of where he lived. Um, when he reached the town, he found the school closed for the night. He ended up sleeping in a nearby barn, and by his own account, the next morning he met a kind woman, Mariah Watkins, who pretty much said, "You must learn all you can, and then go out into the world and give your learning back to the people." Uh, and that made a great impression on him. So he ended up staying, close in other people's homes that took him in so he can continue studying. Eventually, Carver applied to several colleges before being accepted to Highland University in Highland, Kansas. When he arrived, they refused to let him attend because of his race. In August 1886, Carver traveled by wagon with J.F. Beeler from Highland to Eden Township in Ness County, Kansas. He homesteaded or he stayed, maintained a small conservatory of plants and flowers and a geological collection. He manually plowed 17 acres of claim, planting rice, corn, Indian corn, garden produce, as well as various fruit trees, forest trees, shrubbery. Like, he did it all. In early 1888, he obtained a $300 loan at the Bank of Ness City for education. By June, he left the area, and in 1890, he started studying art and piano in Simpson College in Indianola, Iowa. That was a weird word. Weird location. He did have a talent for painting flowers and plants and was encouraged to study botany in Iowa State Agricultural College, which is now Iowa State University in Ames. And let's see, he was one of the first black students in Iowa State, where he eventually got his bachelor's in agriculture. Let's see. I think he eventually got his master's degree. He didn't get a doctorate, but I think most people thought he did, but he didn't. Despite being addressed as a doctor, I think just because of the field and his knowledge, it was expected or assumed. He eventually got honorary doctorates of science in his lifetime by Selma University. I was like,
I'm
"Are you on the
sorry.
phone, dude?"
No, go ahead. My bad.
Like,
My bad. But go ahead. I'm
I
listening.
was like, "What is going on?"
Hey,
All
I'm
right.
multitasking. I do a lot of things at one time. But
You
go
sure
ahead.
do. It threw me
I
off. I was
didn't.
like, "Who is he radioing?" Oh, that's a phone because I just see in my periphery. So, all right. So, continue on. So, we're in 1896. Booker T. Washington, the first principal and president of Tuskegee Institute, now Tuskegee University, invited Carver to head his agricultural department. Carver taught there for 47 years, developing the department into a strong research center and working with two additional college presidents during his tenure. Let's see. He taught methods of crop rotations, introduced several alternative cash crops for farmers that would also improve the soil of areas heavily cultivated in cotton. Initially researched into crop products. I don't know this word, chamergy. I don't know what a chamergy is. And taught generations of black students farming techniques for self-sufficiency. So let's see. Like his goal was he wanted poor farmers to grow other crops such as peanuts, sweet potatoes, and other sources for their own food and improvement of their quality of life. The most popular of his 44 practical bulletins for farmers contain 105 food recipes using peanuts. Although
Okay.
yeah, like it's a lot. Apparently, you could do with the peanut and sweet potatoes and all these other crops. But he promoted the peanuts because it wasn't really commercially successful until he made it like
Yes.
the thing to have. And since cotton was the king of the South, um, eventually the boll weevils decimated the cotton crops in early 1900s. But guess what wasn't going down? The peanuts, soybeans, sweet potatoes, and so he used those three crops to create profitable new markets for them because cotton now is out.
Exactly. And
So eventually, oh, sorry.
oh no, when you're talking about the peanut, it also talk about he did not discover peanut butter as if people think.
Mm-mm, no. But he did do a lot of other things. I'm trying to skip down. Um, so let's talk about something that they really don't talk about.
Okay.
So Carver never married. At age 40, he began a courtship with a Sarah L. Hunt, an elementary school teacher, and the sister-in-law of Warren Logan, treasurer of Tuskegee Institute. This lasted 3 years until she took up teaching in California. In a 2015 biography she did, um, she noted that she suggested Carver was bisexual and constrained by more of the, historic periods, it's taboo. When he was 70, Carver established a friendship and research partner with the scientist Austin W. Curtis Jr., who was a graduate of Cornell University. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on in these other people's autobiographies. But eventually, Carver died in 1943. Curtis was fired from Tuskegee Institute, and he eventually left Alabama and resettled in Detroit and sold peanut-based personal products. Um, so let's see. In 1977, Carver was elected into the Hall of Fame for Great Americans. In 1990, he was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame. Let's see, and in 1994, Iowa State University awarded Carver a Doctor of Humane Letters. And then in 2000, he was also inducted in the Hall of Heroes. And just with all these inventions and these using different products, they said that he invented stains and paints using soybeans and clay. Sweet potatoes he also used for, he created dyes, alcohol, rubbing compounds, and writing inks. And the list is long for peanuts, like from soap, laundry, toilets, cleaning products, antiseptics, lotions, pesticides, glue, you name it. You can do anything with the peanut during this time. And he created all these things. And paper, white colored newsprint. He developed all these things from the peanut. So yeah,
Oh wow, that's a lot.
he did a
Yeah,
lot.
you did a lot of things. Now, I believe you wanted to say 1915 when she came out with the book. I think you said
Uh,
2015.
oh, sorry.
I was like, well, maybe she meant 2015.
Yeah, there were a
Yeah,
lot
but
of dates in this because they were like overlapping stories, and so I had to separate some things. So I probably didn't do that. So
yeah, but that's good. Thank you for always bringing the history facts, and that was good. That was some
yeah,
good history. It was a lot, but it was good because you
and I know.
always.
Listen, and that was condensed, and I even edited some stuff because I was like, it was a lot. This man lived.
Yes, he did.
He did a
But
lot.
that just tells you that a lot of history within the Black community that they don't want to teach in school because it get watered down and other people think that someone else came up with these, but actually it came from the Black community. And for him to go 10 miles to a school and the school was closed, but then he met someone. And when you said that, I was like, ooh, but
Yeah, because
God
it was
work in
like
mysterious ways.
they just helped him out. It was like a networking. He just stayed and he can get his education. And that, meeting that, I think it was Mariah who told him, keep going, and so that you can eventually teach others.
And that's a
And that's what he
wonderful
did.
thing. That's a wonderful thing. Go out and help others. Learn all you can and help others. So that's a good thing. Um, I'm actually I'm doing double duty, so forgive me if I'm kind of messing up a little bit. But I talked to been talking about it all week um, about a guest we're gonna have on tonight, and Marissa Ward. She's running for city council in Longview, Texas, place number 2. Now, unfortunately, she won't be able to come on tonight, but we do have her live on the phone, and she wanna at least address everyone to let them know the situation and what's going on. Uh, Future councilwoman, Miss Marissa Ward, how you doing tonight?
I'm fine, Kurt Dog. I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me on tonight, and I do thank you for your understanding along with the guests and their understanding of me not being able to make it in tonight. But I did want to touch bases with everybody, to let them know, hey, I'm still here and I'm still working hard.
Yes, and could you give a brief summary of the reason why you couldn't make it? Just a brief summary. You don't have to go into details.
Just due to a family emergency that had to be taken care of today. Regardless of whether you're running for office or it's job related or school, your family always comes first. And I believe that, but at the same time, I thank God for a good report. So, which is why I'm able to, be here tonight.
I appreciate it. And we are going to reschedule your interview to be able to come on the show. When is a good time for you?
Monday, late Monday evening, whatever time is suitable for you. I'll just be sure I'm available.
Okay. Well, our show kick off at 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. So Monday, I'm gonna put you down on the calendar, and we cannot wait to talk to you because we want to know exactly what's going on and a little bit of Longview. Because if you don't know about Longview, it's a small town. So we want to know what's going on there and what inspiring you to run for city council. So we'll find all that out on Monday.
Yes, you will.
All right, I appreciate it. Well, thank you for calling in to let us know what's going on, and we'll be praying for your family. And glad of the praise report that everything worked out good. The test came back negative, but we will be looking forward to have you on the show Monday. And please, don't forget.
And,
no, go ahead.
Well, I whenever I'm in the midst of individuals where I can make a difference to a mass of people, I just want to leave something with everybody that's listening to your show tonight.
Okay.
It's that everybody that knows me personally knows that I love literature, journalism, things of that nature. And I just want everybody to focus on the word courage, because before you can start, that new ministry, going to school, getting married, a new job or promotion, people think that, you got to have confidence. But you have to be courageous to even start anything. So I just want people to let that be their word for this week or the end of this week. Just be courageous and be who God calls you to be. Go where He's called you to go, because He'll never lead you astray. And He's already equipped you to do the work. So just be courageous.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to our conversation on Monday,
Yes.
8 p.m. Central Time. I will reach out to you before then, and we could go from there.
Okay, I look forward to hearing from you.
All right, take care. And like I said, we're praying for your family, and we'll be talking to you on Monday.
Okay, thank you so much, and you all have a blessed night.
You too. God bless.
Oh, all right, bye-bye.
Bye. Man, I met this young lady the other day when I found out she was running for city council in Longview, District 2. So there's some stuff going on in Longview. It's time for a change. Just like here in Grand Prairie, right outside of Dallas, it's time for a change. So what we're actually going to do Sunday, we're going to have Kurt Johnson and Junior. I'm not going to screw up his last name, but they will be on the show Sunday night. It's two brothers that is running for city council in a small town right outside of Dallas, between Dallas and Arlington, Grand Prairie, Texas. They not running against each other, but they are running to make a change in Grand Prairie, because right now there's no one on the city council that look like me. Also, the school board, is no one that look on the school board that look like me. There used to be a person back in the days, but it's nobody else. So we need to make a change. In order to change this world, we need to be represented by all race. So I appreciate Ms. Ward for calling in, and I look forward to that conversation on Monday. All right, Ms. Risky, you ready to get this party started?
Of course.
Okay. Couple of months back, I guess it was last year, probably. Shortly after the George Floyd killing, the murder of George Floyd, ran across the story. They did an interview on Cariol Horne, a sister that used to work for Buffalo Police Department. Well, she went out on a call and they was making an arrest. This brother was was actually in handcuffs, already in handcuffs. But this white officer wanted to choke him out while he was in handcuffs. Now, his sister said, no, 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 not on my watch. She told him to stop. And I read the story that just came out yesterday. Apparently, her and that officer got into a fight right there on the scene. Now, here's the problem I have. I don't know if they was the only two officers there, but you mean to tell me this officer was cleared of any wrongdoing? She eventually was fired months from making her 20-year anniversary where she could get her pension. Now, here's the key. A couple of years later, well, not even a couple of years later, this officer that she prevented from attacking this black man while he was in handcuffs, I believe they said a couple of years later, he was arrested and charged. Think he did 4 months in jail?
Yeah, 4 months in an unrelated 2009 case. This actually, the incident took place in 2006.
Yes.
But yeah, he was sent to prison for 4 months in 2009, involving 4 black teenagers, and he was convicted of deprivation of rights under the color of law.
Slamming their head into the car. Yep. And he sued her. It was awarded $65,000. But all of that could have been prevented. But God, all these years later, guess what? Is she going to get her pension back? Hopefully it's with interest.
Back pay. Well, she gets back pay. They didn't say anything about interest. She gets her benefits. See, and yeah, she received enough credits for her to receive her pension, and yeah, back wages.
And that's the key though. Now, the way it should happen, because normally when an officer loses their job and they win a case to get their job back, they have to pay them from the time they lost their job until the time they got their job back. So they should have to pay her full salary that whole time.
Mm-hmm. And this was a 15-year ordeal.
And she been fighting for this whole time. She been fighting to get her job back.
They even, the Buffalo Common Council adopted Carroll's Law, which was created for an officer to intervene when observing force that he or she reasonably believes to be clearly beyond that which is objectively reasonable, end quote. That law was passed September 29th, 2020.
Exactly. Want to welcome, I'm sorry, Marcellus. I'm gonna go back to some of these comments. I think he was doing the history at the time, but he was excited.
Hey,
Me.
Marcellus.
Marcellus used to roll with me all the time, but the last couple of weeks he only come on Thursday. Now he did come on. I think it was Tuesday night. He came on, but yeah, Marcellus. Yeah, that's my boy Marcellus. Radio Chaos.
Hey,
Then
radio.
also Michael is on the show.
I
People in a
remember
little.
Michael.
Oh yeah, Mike been hanging all week. He's been hanging out.
He can't quit us.
He sure can't. Matter of fact, I think he called that a troll last night. Either him or Orlando, one of them. But they called that a troll that was trying to troll us. You know how they do.
Yeah.
So
Probably the one that's on my page, liking all my
no,
pictures.
it's not him. It's
Stalking some stuff.
this is allegedly a sister that was talking about the case with the military guy that charged up the black guy in Columbus, South Carolina, and she put some false information out, but then she later changed the story, kept changing the story. So I just said, you know what, not gonna worry about it. But Marcellus had a question. I just want to know why are we the most hated? We didn't ask to be here. They brought us over here. And all we're trying to do is make the most of it in this horrified country
Well, you
called
know why?
America.
They need somebody to be lower than the lowest white man to have them
They
feel good about something.
they not
Like we're lower than animals. Like they'll help a dog uh, that's looks like it's been hit by a car or looks like it's homeless, but little black person or a child be in the street and they'll call child protective services and get 15 cops because he's loitering in a certain area. Like
are
it
just
doesn't make
walking
sense.
down the sidewalk in your
Right,
neighborhood.
right, because you don't look like you live there. But yeah, there've been a lot of posts. There was a Facebook post that came through, and they say they want to know what the craziest thing about being black is that we are the most accommodating, accepting culture on earth. We will seriously, if Becky can dance, we will make a circle around her. If a buddy can rap, we'll dap him up. Hispanic or white brothers, it doesn't matter. Asian kid has some sauce in the hoop game. We'll back them. We'll invite people to the cookout, but guess what? We are not always invited to the cookout. But we are like the ones with the. We'll take anybody in. Like, and even in slavery, we had to protect other people's children and family members. So that's why we have that great sense of family, and you don't even have to be blood. Like we
That's
will
right.
accept anybody, but for some reason we're just looked out as like unkept kept heathens and wild animals that have to be put down and ruin society. But you think about who's ruining society, and most of them carry guns and doing all this yelling and ranting and causing most disturbance. But I'm just saying, I didn't say who. I'm just saying
Are
it
they
ain't
are
always
they
us.
attacking? Are they attacking the Capitol
Yeah,
and then
storming
want
the
to
capitals.
and don't understand the fact that you did something very illegal. You did a terrorist act, but then you want to get a slap on the wrist and want to go home to your mama. No, it don't happen. Um,
Maybe one
oh,
day that'll change.
but
Hopefully in
not
my
today.
lifetime, but it ain't looking good.
It's definitely not looking good. Marcella said things are web radio. Her things that no. Oh, save me a spot. I'm on my way. I told
I'll
radio. I
bring the
said, radio,
wine.
I'm right now. I don't know if this is good or not, but I I decided to. I've been running so much. I said, you know what? I think it's Thursday night. My girl gonna be on the show. I'm gonna get me a little cocktail tonight. And I've been having this Crown for uh since 2007.
So it's good and flammable.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I got me a shot.
Can you keep whiskey like that? Like, just does it keep well? Because I know wine, it doesn't last. Like, you got maybe what, a couple of years before it breaks down.
Well, I smelt it. It smelled strong.
Yeah. Because I had moonshine that I had for years and didn't touch it, and it broke down. But that was like, it was 20 years.
You probably got to shake it up. And
no.
20 years ago, you couldn't buy the moonshine in the store, so you had that real moonshine.
Oh yeah, those are from the hills of Oregon.
Oh Lord, yeah. You didn't want that. That was straight rubbing alcohol. Yeah.
Listen, I no, it like lost all the alcohol. Like before, it was like all flammable. Like if you pop the cork, your eyes with water. By the time it broke down, there was no there's no alcohol. There was no scent. It was just liquid.
Oh,
so
wow.
I threw it out. And then like I have some what is it? Jack Daniel's Fire. My sister got me, I think for Christmas or birthday. I don't know. It's still on my shelf. I may break that open one day. It's on my shelf.
I've never tried the Jack Daniel Fire.
Oh, it's good. It's smooth.
I would assume it's like Fireball or something. I don't know.
It's for adults. Like it doesn't have all that cheapness as the Fireballs, and doesn't make you feel sick after a few shots.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's like a refined version of Fireball, but for adults, so that you won't have pains.
Well, I might have to do a ride by with my glass my flask.
Crack it open. Like it's just collecting dust. Mm-hmm. Well, it came with glasses, so.
Hey,
I love things with like nice glasses in bottles. I love those things.
I definitely feel you on that. It's I have a bottle of Buccaneers that I have not opened yet. I think I've been having it. I think I've been having it for somebody passing by my window.
Stop being nosy.
No, because they was going kind of slow as they passed by. So I'm trying to see.
You want a piece of me? No, you didn't do that.
I'm trying to see. Just want to make sure ain't no foolishness going on. But
yeah. Oh, speaking of foolishness, what about the story that TMZ posted?
Lord have mercy.
Yes, a white guy drives away from police, dragging an officer, striking him with a hammer. But guess what? Not one shot was fired. None.
After he hit the cop in the head with the hammer.
Yeah. Like he did all this. And then he assaulted somebody, because this all started because this took place in Hutchinson, Minnesota. Which is where Dante Wright was shot by the cops. Police were called to a home improvement store where, was it Luke Alvin? Okay, I'm going to butcher his last name, but Oeltjenbruns?
Yeah.
Oeltjenbruns?
Something like that.
I don't know. We'll just call him, by his first name, Luke. Luke refused to wear a mask and allegedly struck an employee with a piece of lumber before fleeing. Cops eventually chased him down in a mall parking lot, but he ended up driving off. He rammed 2 police cars, started driving off with the cops still holding on to his truck. Luke dragged the officer around and hit him on the head with a hammer before coming to a stop. And he was arrested for first-degree assault with bodily harm. And there's a video of it. Yeah, and they said it's eerily reminiscent of an incident in December 2020 in Ohio, where a white suspect refused to get out of his car and twice threatened to shoot the police officer before speeding away.
And that was
And
after the
that
brother
guy,
was. That was after the brother that was shot in the garage holding the phone
yeah,
in Minnesota. No, that was
mhm,
Ohio, I believe.
probably. But yeah. So yeah, both incidents, it's just like it just reminds you that cops can not use deadly, what is it, deadly force or whatever. They can use other means to arrest you. Like for
Exactly.
us, we don't get that. It's either bullets or more bullets, or you're riddled with bullets. So like, like
But
we
they
like,
only
and you
make
can
that
just be
choice.
standing there with the phone, but they always seem to take these people into custody, you know, after a violent interaction with little to no harm.
But they only have that type of patience when it's dealing with non-blacks.
Because in their mind, in the narrative, again, we need to change this narrative. Because all they see on TV is what media portrays us to be, like wild animals. We're all in a gang. We're shooting up each other. It's only a small subculture. I mean, we don't, like, as black folks, we don't see all white folks as living in double wides, hooking up with their sister, being on the system, drinking beers and listening to, Kid Rock. Like, no, the world is bigger than that. Like, you
Exactly.
got to get out of that. Like, there's a variety of people and different demographics. Everybody's focused on that little small percentage, and it's not even like it's a fraction of a whole. Like, if we were all wild, crazy people, there would be no black folks in corporate America, actors and actresses. We all be on the system, with 15,000 babies, not getting an education, but that is not true. And then also what's a myth is like the fact that, oh, all black men, they leave once the woman has a baby. No, that's just a small subculture. It's a small subculture, that you focus in on. There are a lot of families with two-parent households. I grew up in a two-parent household, you know? Like, come on now. Like, let's just change that narrative. Like, that's what needs to change, but it starts from the top. Because if the government isn't protecting us, and even after slavery, they had all those, provisions to give us rights and tell them to leave us alone because we're citizens. But guess what? They don't do. They don't enforce what they put out. And that's the
Exactly.
problem. There's no repercussions for their actions.
And that's a
But
problem within itself.
right.
That's
And so it trickles down, and guess what? Everybody's shooting at us because all willy-nilly, because there's no consequences for their actions.
so Miss Risket, let me ask you,
Hmm.
because I seen yesterday that the anti-Asian hate bill got past the first huddle. And how do you feel about that? Or because here it is, we had to deal with and still dealing with over 400 years of slavery, injustice.
Listen, we keep getting overlooked for a lot of things. Like, they'll pay everybody in that's not in America. They'll go overseas and pay reparations or whatever. And yes, we are due reparations. It's not a handout. It's not. But we are due so much because they're killing us by like like every day there's a new shooting. Like, I don't know what's going on, like, but this month has been crazy.
Yeah,
But I'm all for people, doing things to promote, you know, the kumbaya, let's all get along. But until you do right by all people, you can't skip over one and be like, you know what? We're going to ignore the black people. Let's go with like stopping Asian hate. No, how about stopping all hate? Like, that's the
exactly.
problem. Like, take the race out of it and just stop hate and
Stop
stop
it.
hating people that don't look like you. That's the problem. Again, it trickles down. When you're not enforcing these laws that are meant to protect taxpaying Americans, that's a problem. You need to rework the whole system, and it trickles down. And it's frustrating because it's like, even with the Asian hate, it's like, who's hating them? It ain't us.
Exactly.
Like, look at who's telling you who's hating on people and who to hate. They all
And
look the same people who are stirring the pot and taking the focus away from them so they can do wrong.
yeah,
It ain't
and,
us.
and I was talking with no, we still do our family call at 7, and one thing someone brought up on the call, like, a lot of these people, the companies, they hire them to come here to work, but they won't hire an American. Then on top of that, a lot of companies are outsourcing
Oh yeah,
their
cheap labor.
their yeah, their business to these third world countries. And
But they're
then when you
proud to be American.
exactly, then when you call in, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, because to find someone that can speak English
Or understand.
or understand them good enough to understand what you are saying.
Right.
So my thing is, I think what we need to do, these companies that are sending these jobs overseas that don't want to pay American people to keep us working, boycott them. I said it. Hit them where the pocket and hit them in their pockets.
But they still won't work because they'll still be making money overseas. And somebody's going to buy their product because for some reason they put, like, they're stating that we're the greatest place on earth, and their advertisement, like, is stuck in their head. The greatest place in the world. We're rich. Come on. We're great, we're a great melting pot, but don't be illegal.
Exactly.
And don't talk about what I do in to get this business. We're just going to focus on this right here.
And
But
and I know people still gonna go out and buy their product.
of
There's
course.
certain products I would not buy for the simple fact they product you are paying for the name.
Hmm.
The product is not good at all,
You're
but
paying for the
because you're
label.
paying for the name, and then as soon as you have an issue with it, you can't get parts for it because of the pandemic. Then you got to go out and spend another $2,000 or $3,000 to replace it.
Right.
So do your homework on that. When I talk about boycotting companies, I'm not just talking about, oh, don't spend money. Encourage other folks. Hey, let's not do this. They sending our jobs overseas.
Yeah. Keep it domestic. Like
Exactly.
like our terrorists.
And you know what? If somebody
Uh,
want to do what's right, we always looking for sponsors.
right. Listen, sponsor us.
Exactly. Because the work that Miss Risky do, neither one of us are making money. So Miss Risky need to get paid. Sponsor us. We got it. We will be a good sponsor. But at the same time, I'm gonna leave that one alone because I think it's the
But yeah, I mean, I like America is, like, to me, equivalent to, I'm gonna say Hitler, because think about Hitler. This man, brown hair and brown eyes, stood amongst this country, or the German people, and convinced these people that blonde hair, blue eyed people were superior race, and they should do away with the undesirables. When he had brown hair and brown eyes, like, he was a great speaker. That's what America is. They speak a good game, but they do the most dirt. Like, think about who's doing the dirt. And God forbid a little Johnny shoots up a school. oh, he's just having a bad day. He needs therapy. His parents divorced. Like, tramps? Like, he's a terrorist. Like, at what point do they call him a terrorist? But let, Pedro or Hassan come over here and, like, have a car. Oh, he's a terrorist. He ran into that building. Like, we're so quick to give other people labels when it's like, no, y'all doing the most dirt. Like, how many shootings have we had this week? And then there
Exactly.
were two or three schools in white areas in the DFW area who had schools locked down because of gun threats, shooting threats. And then yesterday, I think a school was on lockdown in Irving.
MacArthur
Yeah,
High School.
yeah, like down the street from me. Not down the street, but Black
Down the
Turtle.
street, round the
Yeah,
corner.
yeah, a few few miles, but
Only about
down the street.
22 miles from her, but we
Right.
know where she's saying
Well,
down the street.
12, because I'm
Oh,
like right in the middle of everything. But yeah, it's like every day there's a shooting, and little Johnny is having a bad day. Or these cops, these rogue cops shooting everybody and their mom and getting away with it. Like, at what point do we say they're terrorists? Just because they're domestic doesn't mean they're not terrorists. We call
exactly.
everybody overseas a terrorist. I think we need to change that and open people's eyes because they're taking us down. It's not the blacks, it's not the Asians, it's not the Mexicans, or wherever else. It's the American white man in power is bringing us down.
Um, Hold on. I'm looking at something. So I feel you exactly what you're saying for the simple fact that I had this video. I had hold on. I have this video playing in my ear because I was looking at something, and then I hate when I click on something, then all of a sudden the video start playing. But I wanted to. I'm on the wrong page.
Get on the right page, Kurt Dog. Get it together, bruh.
No, because I forgot I had this other page open, but I do want to bring out a point for some people that don't understand. We're gonna hit on the George Floyd trial just a tad bit, even though the defense did rest. It's not a surprise that. Let me rephrase that. It's not the George Floyd trial, David Chavez trial, murder trial.
But the way they
So,
spun it,
yeah, they make it seem like George Floyd is on trial, bringing up his background and everything else.
I
But
thought at one point they were going to bring his elementary school teacher. He stole a pencil.
yeah, he stole a pencil and he pushed little Kenny down or something. But the thing is, with this trial that's going on, and Mr. Wright that was killed in Minnesota, and then he end up here's another white person up in Minnesota that clearly assaulted a police officer, had his arm in the window, dragging him down the road at 40 miles per hour. The officer used his Lowe's hammer to break the glass. He taped the hammer, started hitting the officer in the head, and not one time was a shot fired or anything. That
Wasn't
would have been
dazed,
a justice
not
fire.
mazed.
I guess he was just having a bad day. But the reason why I bring all this up, because the thing is, we talk about um, this trial, but just because certain people call themselves an expert in the trial, and I'm not quite sure if this the one that got paid. I think radio told me the other day he got paid like $11,000 or something to testify. So they paid for a testimony, his expertise. But here it is. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take my headphones off because I don't have another one set up. But I want y'all to hear this because this is nothing I'm making up. This is facts. So, and I want y'all to hear this news outlet to report exactly what's going on with this so-called expert. And I'm not making this up. You can pull it up for yourself. This is courtesy of CB13 WJZ out of Maryland. So I want y'all to hear this.
You may have to put that up louder.
Oh, it's not. Okay. Yeah, I gotta have it up on my phone instead. But basically what they're saying, this so-called expert, came to Minnesota to testify as an expert. But the same expert is listed in a lawsuit.
Dr. David Fowler.
Dr. David Fowler. But he's listed in a lawsuit because he testified in another incident.
In 2018 killing of Anton Black.
Black, yes. And they made it seem like Anton Black died for other reason. That's what he testified about. So while we're listening,
which was similar to the George Floyd, because they showed the footage of the 19-year-old struggling. He was pinned down with his face and chest and stomach on the ground, same position as George Floyd, and died.
And he was tased. He was in handcuffs.
And they're saying Fowler was a part of the cover-up.
Exactly. So I hope this family finally get justice because, and probably, I know social media haven't lost the case yet because they will whip it around and they'll have the video from that first trial against Mr. Black trial, and also the video from his testimony from Derek Chauvin's trial. They will have them playing side by side, and he probably said the same thing word for word. But once again, another Black man lost his life. I never heard about Anton Black. Never heard about it. But this is going on too long. We're finding out about many more people that have been killed by the police. It's coming out every day, another incident that happened. So this attorney, this so-called expert, I think he need to be brought up on charges himself for lying to the court. Because it's no other way of putting it. If he lied about this and he's in the middle of a lawsuit.
But you know, nothing's going to happen.
I know. And
because a perfect example, I was watching the trial and there was an ex-police officer, Barry Brode. Like they literally showed him a picture and video and still shots of this man Chauvin on George's neck. And he refused to say that knee was on that neck. He said everything but neck. And that's what's wrong with this world. Like they will say it so much that they believe it. They will just misdirect you, or just misdirect you into other alternatives. Like, no, it was the upper back. And so people are like, yeah, it was the upper back, but the neck is on like upper back. Just say neck. Why won't you just say what it is? The man was on his back, like, or his neck. Like, back was going to be less harmful to their case. But that's what's going to happen with the doctor. They're going to just redirect the narrative and make it seem like, well, it could be misinterpreted in different ways, or it could be interpreted in different ways. So he's not going to see any time or be penalized because, people take him at his word. He's a doctor. Just like Brode, he was an ex-officer. He's been out there long time. He's done this before, and nobody's died on his watch, allegedly. But he refused. They had circles and everything, and he refused to say neck. And I was like, but what's this right here? Upper back. Look up that video because it's gold. I was at work listening to that, and I was like, a 5-year-old. Just what's the harm? But they were grasping at straws. But we'll see how this ends up. Because I think, that whole defense team is corrupt, but that's what they do. Protect their own.
And I'm going to say this. I'm going to just go out on a limb. Please, don't be surprised that police chief and any other officer that testified against this man eventually don't all of a sudden been relocated or decide to leave the force, because they're doing exactly what's right. Because the police department allegedly have this code. You stand by your brother and your sister if they right or wrong. But who was going to stand by Miss Cariol Horne when she did the right thing to talk about, hey, this is wrong. You don't do this. Instead, she ended up losing her job. And for 15 years, she tried to fight to get her job back. Right. So,
and her pension and what was due to her for doing the right thing. So they penalize you on the force for doing the wrong thing, doing the right thing. Just like if, what do they say, thin blue line? That brotherhood is fickle. Like if you do something that's kind of outside of their norm, that could be your life. Like you go on a call, guess what? You're not going to get back up. And they put you in harm's way. Like they retaliate. Like what they did with Cariol. Like all these years. And what did she do? She just saved, she just pulled, and they said in the story they were fist fighting. She fought the other officer because he was doing wrong. He was, killing a handcuffed man.
Exactly.
So we need to stop penalizing cops who do the right thing.
Yep. And also, is that the cop that had the beard and mustache looking like he from the 70s that you was talking about?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Because I pulled the story up. It said Derek Chavez was trained to avoid neck pressure. That don't mean he didn't avoid it. Mm-hmm. The man kneeled on his neck for over 9 minutes with his hand in his pocket and grinning the whole time.
Shades on top of his head never moved or shifted one bit.
Even when
he's and then sorry to cut you off, but Barry Brode during the trial said that George Floyd the whole time that he was handcuffed was non-compliant, and he needed to be, knelt on to keep him under control. So they asked him, well, what would have made him compliant? He was handcuffed. And he said, well, if a compliant prisoner would have his hands at the lower part of his back with the handcuffs. And then you see the picture of George Floyd. He's pinned between the car and the officer. So his arms are going all sorts of ways, so he can't move. But he wasn't not complying. He couldn't move, like, at all. And this Barry Broad, this tramp, was like, no, it was George's fault because he was not compliant.
Yeah, that's some BS if it
Right.
ain't.
Listen,
But
I'm telling you, y'all need to watch that one. Y'all need to watch that one. I want to say it's maybe if you go to YouTube, I want to say it's number 11 or 12. The trial day 11 or 12. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
But that's how the world is. They figure out a way. It's like loopholes of life. Even like they skew it to fit their narrative.
Mm.
And they say it convincingly and with conviction that you start to scratch your head. It's like, well, his hands were a little high. Well, and it's like, but his elbow was propped up on the car. He couldn't lower it. And then his other arm was grabbed and he was hemmed up by the officer. So, like, what are you to do? Like, no matter what, we're always in the wrong.
Mm.
We need to stop that. Stop this. It's ridiculous.
It's a shame the way that people would sell their soul just to make a black person look bad. If you tell it like it is, let justice be done. Because you getting up there lying, what's gonna happen? You're gonna be held accountable for it. Or years from now, we're gonna start hearing like we've heard in other cases. After so many years, people come back, well, I lied. Kind of like when I mentioned about the lady that caused Emmett Till death because she lied that he whistled at her. I don't care how old she was. She should have been in jail.
Listen, they put Bill Cosby in jail.
I was thinking the same thing.
He blind as a bat.
Exactly. What is he gonna do now?
Right, like he can barely walk.
But then they have leaders that refuse to put a pedophile in jail that's talking about women love to be grabbed by the kitty cat. So, and then they'll let them president him when they have the opportunity to impeach him twice, they refuse to do it. So that's a problem within itself. That tells you they look more for the dollar bill than they do for what's right. And everybody who's doing that, you're going to be held accountable. It don't make sense to do that. But I know Miss Risky is here tonight, so I'm not going to go off too bad. But
yeah, I was trying to find that quote where, let's see. It says Lyndon B. Johnson, who once said, if you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket.
yeah.
And that's from Colgate University's lowest white boy article. Because I was like, I knew somebody said it. I just couldn't remember who.
They definitely said it.
And it's ingrained in everyone's DNA that, you're better than, anyone darker than the paper bag.
Well, that's because, like I explained last night, that racism is taught in the home from a child up. And because they're so blind and cannot see that we are all equal, but they don't want us to be.
Right. Because they have to feel like they're better than the next person.
Better than the next person and don't have a cut the pee out of.
And that goes all across the board because there's in Latin America, same principle. You go to India, same principle. And then even in our culture, we get that colorism, and it's like the lights versus darks. So we just have to do better as a people, because at the end of the day, if I'm donating blood, it doesn't have a color but red. That's it.
That's it.
That old positive. And Carter Blood Care, stop stalking me. I will donate when I have time. Leave me alone.
Exactly. I haven't been able to donate in several years, but I will be donating
I've just been
hopefully again soon.
lazy.
Danger Fruit 21, welcome to the show. First time seeing you on here. You're on Twitch, so you can actually make sure you follow the page and said, yo, hi, Uncle and Auntie. I appreciate it. Kind of make me feel old, though.
Yeah.
Older than what I'm in. But hey, welcome to the show. You can live chat with us in the chat room. This is a place for everyone. If you're just not tuning in, you are listening to Speak On It with Who You With Kurt Dog. On Thursday, I have my girl, my podcast wife, because I'm married, but on Thursday, my wife
Just
knows.
partner in crime would do just fine.
Okay, my partner in crime, because I don't want to be like Bill in a couple of years. Be telling me, you remember you said that was your part-time one? No, my partner in crime would be good. But this is my girl, my BFF, Miss Risky. So on Thursday, she always come on and bless us with the history facts. So I appreciate it. And I guess it was a couple of weeks ago we did history on something, and I sent you the response that somebody gave, put on YouTube. See, Miss Risky, she be on top of it. And then the show we did last Thursday. Some of the response from that, because people wasn't
My
ready.
mother actually enjoyed it. So
I hate it.
she gives us a kudos.
I appreciate
it.
I appreciate it. That's all because of your daughter. Your daughter did a great job on it. She took her time, wanted to do it right. And if you didn't hear that show, go to YouTube, check out the replay. And it's very strong terms that we use, that we was taught as a child, but we're still using it today. And we need to change those, that generation curse, and learn what these terms actually come from. Got a question for you, Miss Risky.
It sounds familiar. John Hanson.
Yeah, that sounds real good.
It
Real
does
familiar.
familiar, but I don't know. You would have to let me Google.
That's what I'm doing. See, if you're new
Because
to
it
the
sounds
show,
familiar.
if you're new to the show, one thing we will do, if somebody puts something in the chat, if we don't know for sure, we're gonna Google. We're gonna Google and find out exactly who it is. And
So
okay.
the former president, civil servant, probably
President
the
of
president.
Confederate Congress. He's from Maryland. November the 5th, 1781, and November the 3rd, 1782. So he was 101 years, well, almost 101.
So Danger Fruit, what do you what's going on? Why do you want us to know about John Hanson?
Yeah, let us know.
Do I need to do a history lesson on him?
He was
a
doing
Liberian politician. He was African American, looks like. So
okay.
I can do a story on him. That because we take suggestions, because that's the whole thing. Like, let me know, what do you want me to do a history lesson on, so I can add him to the list.
Yeah, because looking at this picture, when I first seen the picture, I was like, okay.
Yeah, before the I think it was before they had the colony. What was it? The 13 colonies? Is that what it was? I don't know. My history is poor when it comes to U.S. history. I think I slept or was smacking my gum during that time. But yeah, I do recall there was a black president before George Washington, before the colonies were set up or something. And then George Washington was the first president of the United States. I think that's how it went. Like it's coming back a little bit. It's in there somewhere. I could do a story on that.
I think it would be good to do it. I'm kind of glancing over it, trying to see what I can find out. But yeah, I'll say let's
Yeah, we can do a story on that, and I can look up some stuff.
Most definitely. But you know, a lot of time they don't. Even though we invent a lot of stuff, we don't get the recognition of it. They would overlook us. He said he was the president before George Washington, and he was an African American, which is interesting. Back in that time, yes.
Because remember, the United States, I think during that time wasn't formed until, and that's why they say George Washington is the president of the United States. They still had colonies when John was a part of Congress and a president. So I think that's how it went. But I'll look that up just to be certain, because that's what I'm remembering. Because they were still under colonies.
Oh, wow.
See, history is fun. See, I wanted to be a historian back in the day, and classes were just too far for me to migrate after all my late days or nights. Like, I don't feel like walking over there.
You're like, nah.
I'll go over here. We're taking radio television.
If you was around the corner, I would have made it.
Like,
But
seriously, that's what it was. I was like, yeah, I can walk a few blocks. And then I'm like, well, I'd have to take my car. I don't feel like driving and figuring out parking. I don't want to pay to park close to the building. It was a whole thing. That's why I'm where I am today.
yeah, that's you see now I'm up here now just kind of
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was when the colonies were being set up or something. And then once everything formed. So we'll probably do a little combo history lesson.
and he said he's on the $2 bill.
I need to pull out my $2 bills. I
Well,
don't know who's on there.
actually,
I thought somebody else was on there.
It's Jefferson on it from what I
Yeah,
can
because I was
see.
like, I don't remember.
But then again, they could have changed it. And probably if you have a $2 bill that actually if he was
On there.
on there.
Listen, there'd probably be some monies, but I never really paid attention, but I don't know.
Well, my beautiful wife, she
I have a few.
She collect them. And but you know, I've seen some on here worth like $6 each.
Listen, I saw one that had me looking at all my old $2 bills, because one of them sold for like a ridiculous amount of money. It was ridiculous. So let's see. This one is showing. Yep, I can't pull it up. It's a white Jefferson.
Yeah, that's what I'm
but
looking
I don't
at.
know if that's
all the ones I see have Jefferson on it.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson. There's a wiki on that, the $2 bill.
Hey, it's a wiki on it, everything. You
I know.
might see one on us.
So
well, hold on. Now they say back history. In the days, I cannot.
There's been a lot of. It looks like they've changed the $2 bill's face for a lot of people.
Yeah, because
hold on, I'm scrolling down.
Susie B. Anthony was on it back in the days.
Listen, they had Winfried, Scott Hancock, James McPherson.
Who?
I don't know, but it's a
uh,
lot
I,
of people. So I guess they're not, uh, completely sold on. Like, I guess it's interchangeable. Like, if you want to be on a $2 bill, you can be on a $2 bill.
I just
They're
seen
not
Biden on
picky.
one.
I need to look at mine. I don't think I ever paid attention to them because I have one that looks different than the other ones. Because there's some, I don't know. It may be a counterfeit. I don't know. I just
It's a
remember there's some red
possibility.
in there, some red hints of
Well,
red in there.
I'm looking at a 1953 $2 bill with Jefferson on it, and it actually has red numbers, and also the symbol is red.
Because they look
So,
old, and I just kept it.
uh, oh, he
Oh
said
wait,
he's on.
hold on.
He
Let me
said
see
he's
something.
on the back with a group of people. Okay, because I'm searching. I'm like, hey,
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
you
look at my $2 bills because I got some new ones, but then I have this old one because it looks dated, but it's still like in fairly good condition. But it's like I said, it's got a red tint to it.
okay? I'm looking at a back of one, and
Oh, where they're
uh,
together, looks like they're having a meeting.
yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Having a meeting. Uh, so they have a bunch of them. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah. It's
maybe
like if I guess if you want to be on a $2 bill and you're in a government, all right, let's switch them
maybe I
out.
need maybe I need to say, hey, I want to be on the $2 bill. Hey,
Put
but
Obama
hold
on
on,
it. Listen,
uh,
that'll
wait a
be
minute,
gone.
hold on now. You know, if Ursher can have his face on money
I know, right?
and go to the strip club, you know, I was
Listen, that
kind
was
of,
ridiculous.
I'm like this. If he go to the strip club, throws out money with his face on it that had no
Isn't that
value at
fraudulent?
all, I was going to say, wouldn't it be counterfeit?
Yeah, it's fraudulent. Like, yeah, I mean, I don't like it. And then did you see a picture of it?
Yeah.
His Usher dollars. It looked like some money from Wakanda. Not Wakanda, but what was that Prince Akeem?
Uh-huh.
Zamunda money.
I'm, I guess it's starting to kind of,
Is it coming down harder?
I don't know if that's a loud truck uh, a loud truck or a thunder.
But look at the quality of that though. Like he got a bar, like hold on.
But nobody
Like that's a
decided
pretty
to,
good and then it's $100. He put himself on $100 fake bill.
mm,
And it had like the watermark and it almost looks like a euro. Like I don't know if you seen the euro dollars because they have like a weird color thing and strip. I don't know. I think it's called it. Yeah, it's all called euros, right?
mhm. um,
I have some of those still. I'll be back one day.
well, I'm gonna probably talk about this next week, but an alert just came out, and I don't have time to really go through it because you know when certain things come up, I want to make sure it's
Uh
it's
oh. I wonder if it's the same thing I just saw.
probably so.
This thing.
Uh, I'm about yeah, I'm about to send it to you just to see.
Well, it probably
Um,
is because they've been talking about it all weekend, so I guess they just finally passed it.
oh no.
Oh, not that one?
You talking about um where Texas have
Passed the
is
bill.
passed the bill where they want to make anybody legal to
Yeah,
uh
handguns in public without a license.
Yeah,
Nothing could possibly go wrong with that idea.
but I'm
I mean,
sending
we
you a
can't
little
even
stuff.
control the licensed carriers.
Exactly.
All these mass shootings.
I just sent you a little something. Well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. For some, I guess there's something in my headphones. Sound like either thunder or a truck is out there just running. Um,
Could be your stomach. Have you eaten?
you know what? Don't be telling my business.
I
Don't be
just
telling my
had
business.
Doritos. I didn't feel like eating like real food. But I had a salad earlier, so I'm still kind of good. You know when
Well,
you
that
stick
is
your
kind of.
headset on your head like that, you like Aaron BC from Oz. And he had the cap stuck on the side of his head. I'm still trying to figure out how that's stuck on his head.
Well, that's from back in my DJ days. You know,
Yeah.
when you be in there trying to listen to music, you gotta then somebody come in and talk. You're trying to get that music right, and then you like this. You gotta. That's what they're from. No, but I guess that is thunder because I see lightning to the west of me, and I guess thunder is heading up your way. Rain and thunder.
Probably because, I mean, it started raining. Uh, I don't keep up with the news or forecasts. I get all my information from the WAP and not
Yeah,
that kind. The Fox 4 WAP. 2 piece.
exactly.
But yeah, I see a lot of little thunderbolts, lightning bolts
Oh yeah.
coming in our
Uh,
area.
yeah, so it's to
It's
the
almost,
west of me.
well, actually, I don't know if it'll hit us because we're at the triangle at the top. It's below us.
Wanna say look like former VP Pence undergo surgery to implant pacemaker. Um, hopefully make a speedy recovery and hopefully uh, he come out and tell the truth about Trump, the real secrets. But he probably won't. Oh yeah. Okay, now it is a truck passing by passing
You
by
got a
my
lot of stuff
window.
going on. And you
That's
and your
what
ADHD.
I know. I know it's hard. I guess after the week I've had, it's been pretty good. Um, so
And
man,
I'm almost done with
but
my project.
that's good. I've been ask you how's everything going, and for you could also let the people know where they can find you at, except for the food that been stalking you.
My fans have found me, liking all pictures for the whole year. Uh, so anyway, I can be found at RSKEE on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, but I live on Instagram, sometimes Snapchat. It's a thing. I
You have a
have a
snap?
page. I do have a Snapchat. I used to listen, my niece wanted me to stop doing the snaps. I was addicted. I was like, but my fans, they want snaps from me. I'll be back. But rskeebooks.com is where you can see my works. And then hopefully in a few weeks, or maybe by the end of a few weeks, I have some news and things like that for my project. Got to see how we got to do this. I don't know. We'll see.
No, okay. Yeah, I need to send me your Snapchat code. Yeah, because I'm I'm on there, but I don't be on there.
Yeah, I used to stalk my niece, and then it became a thing. I just started doing videos.
You know, and
Hold on, let me see.
now she block you.
There's my snap. Put your phones up there and get my snaps.
Hold on. Let me get it. Hold on, my camera trying to come out.
Will it let you do it from here? I don't know. We'll see.
Let me see. Oh, you know what? Let me go to Snapchat.
Is that how you do it?
I think you got to go to Snapchat and I'm learning
Yeah,
that.
you should be. Let me see.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's
that's how you
learning.
do it.
I
Like, I
don't
think you
think
just click on my screen. I think that's how you do it. I haven't done this in a while. Is that how you do it?
I'm I think it's where you have to build it up or something. You have to.
I
I
thought you can just click on it, but I can share my code with you. But
not
the
that
cool kids just scan the picture.
Okay, let me see it now.
You want to
No,
see
I
if you
don't
can
want
do
to.
it?
Let
Oh,
me
hold
see.
on, wait. That was a little too boobalicious. Y'all were quiet on the chats. Didn't say
Oh,
anything about the boobaliciousness.
my head was there. Hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm trying to see how to
She
just
all
send it to me because I'm
all
I'm
right.
I'm
Had to.
I'm
I was showing Marcellus all the goods. He ain't even bought me lunch. Showing showing all the snacks.
Marcella's got that might be Marcella's secret account that's liking all your pictures.
Listen, it just
Did you
came
hear
out of
that
the blue.
thunder?
All of a sudden, I was like, 30 likes. Okay. I was like, oh, from one person.
Did you hear that thunder?
No.
Yeah, it's raining pretty good out here. Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah.
just
Oh, it's just saying just well, I sent you the thing, but it's just like you're supposed to take a screenshot of it. That's not at all. I don't know. Hold your phone up. Take a pic. You have your scanner on?
hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to put the scanner on Snapchat on because I don't.
No, no, no. Just on your. You should be able to do it on just your camera.
I did it on the camera at first. Let me try. Let me try something else real quick. Let me try my scanner. Okay, now let's see.
All right. Hold on. I gotta find the screen.
It's not working.
It's probably too much light.
No problem. So let me try my camera again. Maybe it'll do it on that.
Yeah, forget the show. We're just but your but look at the
Okay.
cleavage look good
No.
though.
So what?
Huh?
I didn't hear
I
you.
was looking at my boobs.
Oh, Lord.
We're gonna have like more followers. Like, I'm here for the boobs. You
What's
get it?
that? What? It didn't take. I just
All
took a
right.
picture of
Well, I'll just look me up. The real RSKE. I'm on Snapchat, y'all.
okay, the real RSKE.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, because I don't know if there's another one, but that was the somebody took my name.
hey, this day and time, I might need to change minds a little bit because people thuggish. They be they be. I had somebody one time to come in, did a had cloned a family member and a friend Instagram page and asked me how I was doing, and I was on the phone with him. I was on the phone with the person at the time. I said, "You
My
gotta be
friend's
kidding
mom got her page hijacked, but she never really used Instagram. So I was like already like suspicious. And then she started telling me, "Oh, you should call my friend and they're doing these grants and all this stuff." And I was like, "Hey, oh, by the way, I'm trying to do something for your daughter. What's her middle name again?" "Well, why are you asking me this? Do you not believe that I'm who I say I am?" Like, get off my page.
it." Yeah, it's crazy how they do it, and I'm like, look, uh,
But yeah, I know I had a fake page. Somebody um, used some of my pictures. My page is private on Facebook, so they were limited in what they could see. But they were asking all my friends to be their friend, and got a call. I was like, I hadn't even woken up, and then I was getting all these messages. Hey, did you send me a message? No, I only have 2 pages. That's it. I ain't starting a new one. So I had to get Facebook involved to shut it down before they start asking for money.
I just sent you a message. The
On
story I
what?
just sent. Messenger, Facebook
Okay.
Messenger.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm not gonna do it tonight because we're gonna leave on a good note. But this is crazy.
Did Marcellus leave? He didn't say anything about the Bubblicious, so maybe he passed out.
He probably seen him and been like, "Oh Lord."
He done
Yeah.
passed out.
Now there's still a protest going on in Minnesota. I don't know if it's going on tonight in Dallas, but
I think they were doing something in Dallas. There's
I
been a
know
lot of
they
stuff
have
going on.
been doing it. They have been doing it, but with the rain. Now I know you heard that thunder. Oh
It's all in your head, dude.
no, because
Oh,
I've
I heard
been.
that right there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, hey, uh, yeah. So it's definitely going down in Dallas. Oh Lord.
So
Um,
anyway,
yeah, I'll have
yeah.
some stories to talk about next week because I just seen this sort of story here in town um, that is going on. I haven't heard about it until right now, uh, but we'll figure it out. But hey, I am. It was the Snapchat. Um, you have been listening to Speak on it with Who You With Kurt Dog. I am Who You With Kurt Dog. Miss Risky is my co-host on Thursdays. Please continue to support the show. Continue to follow the show, and you can find me on. If you're trying to reach out to me on Facebook, send me a message. Um, YouTube, I do respond to comments. If you subscribe on YouTube, I will follow you back if your page is not private. And also, all social media. I try to be on them, but hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It's been a wonderful week this week. We will be back Sunday. Well, I will be back Sunday with Kurt Johnson and Junior. He's an I gotta practice his name over the weekend. Make sure I get it right. But we will be back Sunday. Two brothers running for the city councilman position in Grand Prairie. They're not running against each other. They are running for two different positions. So definitely join us Sunday. Listen to what the brothers have to say. Marcella, Marissa Ward. Thank you for calling in to let us know what's going on. I cannot wait until Monday when you're able to come on. Now, don't forget, early voting start Monday. So we need to make sure we get out and vote and let our voice be heard. And also, if you want to meet with Junior and also Mr. Kurt Johnson, they are doing a rally come, and I'm trying to find the information. This weekend, the NAACP is doing a rally to get out and vote here in uh, in the Dallas area. It's actually in Grand Prairie, so you can actually go out and support them, show your support for them, ask them questions, the hard questions to find out exactly what they stand for, and even though they're coming on the show, but I'm saying to you, don't just take my word. Do your research on them, and definitely get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. The event is Saturday from 1 to 4 at Park Hill Park Pavilion, 5100 South Robertson Road, Grand Prairie, Texas, 75052. You can join the Grand Prairie NAACP and register to vote for this Get Out to Vote event for the May 1st local election. And they would also be knocking on doors and educating voters about the city council race in Grand Prairie, including council districts 6 and 8. The NAACP is partially concerned about the upcoming $75 million bond election in Grand Prairie, Proposition A. We want to make sure we are electing representatives who will commit to using Prop $8 to one, hire local residents for bond projects, and two, set aside contract for minority-owned business. This will be a COVID-free and COVID-safe event. Please bring a mask and a water bottle. The event will begin with brief remarks and a volunteer training, and then we will knock on the doors of African American voters in the community. Co-host Jessica Mason. So definitely get out, and if you're able to make it to this event, go out to this event, meet both candidates, and find out how can you help get them elected. So until Sunday night, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for all the love and support. Please continue to support the page. Share, like, tell a friend, click the notification, know when we are live. So until Sunday, until then, peace.